Positioning. So that's interesting. So we will move on to the NFC. We are going to do the NFC East last
Oh,
because
boy.
Johnny and I's team are there, and we will wait to do the NFC West till the second to last, and we will
Okay.
start with the NFC North, which is in this order. Of course, I got to go with the Lions, even though the Lions, I always feel like they got a lion, but they're not the Browns, they're not the Chargers. They're going to finish first this year in the NFC North. Then I'm going with the Packers, the Vikings, and then the Bears, even though the Bears will improve on last year's record. I do think they will come in last in that division. Dr. Pez, who do you have?
It's an odd one, really, because I don't know what the Packers' defense is like enough to give them the top spot. No, do you know what? I'm going to change it on the spot. I'm going to go Packers, Lions, Bears, Vikings.
Wow. Okay, I can see Vikings coming in last. They got Darnold at QB.
Yeah,
Johnny, what do
especially
you
with
think?
Darnold. So
He'll be benched by week 3.
Maybe.
Craig has gone against the Packers and gone for the Lions. So, unusual for Craig. But yeah, I'll probably do the Lions as well, to be honest. They do look the more round team. The Packers
So
are
Craig
good.
is just being a homer.
Craig is not a homer this time, so yeah. I'm guessing they'll probably be in the wild card. I've not looked that far down, but they're not winning the division.
But Craig did pick the Packers, though, correct? And
No,
you picked the Lions?
Craig picked the Lions.
Oh, wow. All 4 of us picked the Lions.
No, I picked the Packers.
Pez went the Packers.
Ah, okay. So
Pez is totally different.
Well,
so I'm going to watch all this
holds
back
out.
and I'll take notes in, so it's easier.
All right. The NFC South, which, again, what is up with the South divisions? Any
That's
of
a
these,
toss-up.
besides maybe the Panthers, could win it. And then any of these could end up with the worst record in the NFL. Who knows with these guys? The QBs could be awesome. The QBs could be terrible. Who knows what's going to happen? However, I'm going with the Falcons to finish first, with Penix starting at least 4 games this year. Bucks finishing up second, the Saints third, and the Panthers fourth. Dr. Pez, who do you have?
As long as Cousins is fully back from his injury, it's the Falcons, Panthers, Saints, and Bucks.
Wow, okay. Nice. I love it. Johnny?
I just feel like
go ahead.
wherever Dave Canales goes, the QB takes a significant increase. And Bryce Young is not a terrible quarterback. It might have just took him a year to get his bearings, understand it a little bit more, and then with Dave Canales there as head coach, tutoring him along, I feel like we're going to see a completely revamped Panthers team, enough to where they're going to shock a few people.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, who knows? Quarterbacks can take time sometimes. So who do you have, Johnny and Craig?
Well, both myself and Craig have gone for the Falcons. So,
all right.
I
So
think we've all
that
gone
seems
the Falcons
to
here.
be a popular choice.
Yes.
Yeah, popular choice.
Well, they have the
So,
best quarterback. So.
By the way, Peyton Manning, rookie year, right, had, what was it, 18 interceptions, I think, something like that.
He had a lot.
So, yeah, I would not, undersell what Manning can do, or not Manning, Young can do and improve. Peyton Manning, rookie year, 28 interceptions.
Yeah, I knew it was more. Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, and 26 touchdowns. So his rating was a 71.2. And people were thinking Manning was going to bust out of the NFL. So who knows? Maybe Bryce Young just needed a year, right? I don't really get too worried about rookie quarterbacks until year two, right? All right. So off to the NFC West. Sorry, Pez. I'm going to go with the Niners. They just have too many offensive weapons. Their defense could be the best in the NFL. I mean, they've built a solid team. I do think their window is closing, and they only have maybe this year, next year, and then that's about it. I think by then they're going to struggle to replace some key players. So now's the time to get it done. So Niners, Seahawks, Rams, Cards. Pez, let me hear it.
Obviously, the Niners are who they are,
Yeah.
but I'm bullish on the Seahawks.
Yeah, I can see why.
Like in
got
preseason, they've shown stuff. Like they've shown a difference on defense. They've all looked like they're bought in. I think Grubb's gonna unlock JSN. Tyler Lockett's gonna drop down to wide receiver 3. DK's gonna have a monster season, and it all evolves around that O line. If that O line can just be average, then I feel like we're gonna take some big scalps. You got to remember what Mike McDonald did to the Niners last year with the Ravens. Like sometimes Kyle Shanahan just has these coaches that just make him unstuck, and if Mike McDonald's one of them, that could be the decider there. Obviously, very biased as well, and I'd never pick the Niners to win anything. Just remember
No, we know that.
Because when CMC's calf rips from the bone and he's done for the year, and then Trent Williams doesn't bother turning up anymore because he's like, I'm too old, I'm just retiring on my money. And then Purdy's like a lamb to the slaughter out back for any edge rusher.
Purdy's got a good head, man. He sure is Purdy.
It doesn't matter when he's got no line to protect him. He can be as good as he wants to be. So, Seahawks, Niners, Cardinals, Rams, Cardinals. I really wanted to move the Cardinals up because of the pieces they've created, but they've got no offense. So their season's going to go. They're going to be in loads of shootouts. Kyler's going to be running all over the place. Marvin Harris is probably going to get a load of points. James Conner's going to go until he breaks, and then the other one's going to come in and get a load of points because they're just going to be in shootouts because their defense really isn't non-existent. And then inevitably, halfway, 3 quarters into the season, Kyler will end up breaking down because he's worked too hard.
Yeah,
the standard
like
Cardinals.
Out there. I don't know. He looks like a little league quarterback playing in high school. He's just so tiny. Seriously, every time I see him play, I just think they're going to break him in half. Could you imagine having a 6'8", 320-pound guy fall on Kyler Murray? I mean, seriously.
That's why every single year he's had a knee or an ankle issue. And then the season before, he had the big issue. He eventually broke.
That poor guy. Man. All right, Johnny. What you got?
Both Craig and I are going for the 49ers.
All right. Safe choice. All right. The NFC East.
Oh, God. This is actually a shock you're ranking here. So, yeah.
So, as much as it makes me want to puke right here in front of everyone on live YouTube television, I'm going with the Eagles. However, I don't think that this is going to be a good year for the NFC least. I don't think any of these 4 teams are going to be particularly strong throughout the year. All of them will show signs of being dominant and then show signs of just blowing it. So, Eagles, number 2, Giants. And let me explain why. 2 years ago, the New York Giants went to the playoffs. They have actually not gone down that much. They've improved their O-line. They've improved their wide receivers with Malik Neighbors. Saquon Barkley in 2023, you want to know his stats? He had 6 touchdowns with only 962 yards rushing and a 3.9 yards per carry average. They won without Barkley having a Barkley season. I think Singletary can do 6 touchdowns and 962 yards rushing without blinking an eye. Giants, I think, are going to rebound. They will finish second. Cowboys third. Redskins making improvements and showing signs with Jaden Daniels that could be a powerhouse in the making. Redskins at fourth. Bez, what do you think?
Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys, Giants.
Wow. Johnny, he stabbed you right in the heart and smiled as he was doing it.
Well, actually, for a little fun one at the end of this, we can pick who's going to have the number 1 pick next year. So, but yeah, I will go.
Maybe next week after the first week of games, we'll predict the worst team in the NFL. Yeah, that's a good one. I like it. All right, Johnny. What's your?
I'm going to go for the Eagles, even though it does hurt to see it, and so is Craig.
All right. So my playoff teams in this order are going to be obviously the division winners: Niners, Lions, Falcons, Eagles. Seahawks may actually have the second or third best record in the NFL, but of course the highest they can be is the 5th seed. Giants, Cowboys. All right, Dr. Pez, what do you think?
Well, I've got Eagles, Falcons, Seahawks, and Packers. Then I think the other teams will be the I feel like the Niners, the Lions, and then throw a dart out there, the Panthers in the 7th spot.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to do that, but I'll not do that anymore. So.
It's either the Commanders or the Panthers. I just want to chuck a thing out there. One of them.
I can see it. All right, Johnny.
Well, Craig's wildcards are the Packers, the Bears, and the Cowboys.
Packers and who?
Packers, Cowboys, and the Bears.
Okay.
My wildcards. As much as it still hurts to say, it's got to be the Cowboys and Seahawks and the Rams.
All right, there you go. I love the Rams. You know,
I was going to go for the Panthers, but somebody beat me to it, and I knew he would when he picked them to finish second in the division. Because I think Bryce Young might be better, new weapons. But
every year there is a last to first team that makes the playoffs. So the Panthers, the Commanders, yeah, I can see that happening, right? Without a doubt. Who finished last? Yeah, that was the Cards. Never mind. I was hoping maybe the Seahawks were going to be fine. But the Chargers finished last year, didn't they? Or the Bengals? I think the Bengals were last. So
the Bengals finished last. They've got a good chance as long as Burrow's healthy.
Well, at least I got one last to first team. All right. So those are some interesting picks. I will actually post my choices in the OrkneyBowl chat so I can be ridiculed and everyone can make fun of me and they can see it. Maybe it'll drive them to watch the show.